State. The acting executive secretary of the Kano State Private Health Institutions Management Agency, by name Khadija Hussein Sahad, announced the directive during a sensitization workshop for proprietors and medical directors of private health facilities in Kano. Now, she went on to say that the patent medicine stores are legally classified as non-clinical retail outlets and are not authorized to perform invasive medical procedures, administer IV fluids, or conduct blood transfusion. She went on to say that the directive is aimed at protecting residents from unsafe and illegal medical practices and strengthening the regulation of private health facilities in the state. So what does this mean? As we speak right now, for people who have pharmacies, chemists, let's call it, that's what we call it in the rural areas, right? People who have medicine stores, the Kano State government has banned owners of those stores or of those outlets from carrying out blood transfusions or administering IV fluids. Maybe, for instance, someone is sick and you just walk up to them. They say, I not get blood, or make una give me blood. And then they give you bed. Inside the chemist, inside the medicine store. And then they give you bed, they infuse the what do they call it now, the needle in your vein, and they start to transfuse blood in the medicine store, in the patent medicine store, in the chemist. Now, the Kano State Ministry of Health is saying that it is wrong. It's a wrong practice, and it has to stop. And I agree with them. You know why? Most of these things are not regulated. If you go to the hospital, of course, those bloods in the blood bank would have to undergo a lot of screening. The doctors, the laboratory technicians, people in charge of that blood bank will actually do their screening first to find out if the blood in the blood bank will be fit to be transfused to patients. But in most of the patent medicine stores, how would you know if those things have been screened properly? Anybody can walk in there and say, oh, I don't have money, I want to donate blood. Please take my blood and give me money. And then they might not have the time. I'm just saying, they might not have all the time to carry out proper checks on those blood banks. So yes, I agree with the Kano State government, and it will be a good thing if other states get to emulate what is happening in Kano State. And yes, it's time for us to go over to the topic for today. And as usual, we have something very interesting to talk about. We are live on Facebook. I would want you to go to Facebook right now, Echo FM 100.7 or Echo FM. And why I want you to join right now is because I'll be showing you some pictures and I'll be playing some videos for you to see with your eye what somebody can be carrying in the body for a long time and not even know that he has such a thing in his body. God have mercy. I mentioned it yesterday, and people who reached out to me said, no, we've not heard of this before. Please, we'd like you to talk about it. Invite an expert. And of course, we would have a urologist today who will help us understand what kind of ailment that is. In my whole life, I have never seen that kind of thing. God have mercy. But before then, let's go take a message from our sponsor. Don't forget that Health Revolution has a sponsor. We'll go listen to that message. I'll urge you to also listen to the jingle we'll play out, because later on I'll be asking you questions in line with that jingle, okay? Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
This program is sponsored by If Green Foods. This program is sponsored by If Green Foods.
Aha! Ndị banyị ndị If Green Food ebuterela anyị nri ọma abụọ. Ọ bụ If Green Vita nakwa fufu flour.
Yes, so If Green Vita bụ nri ọma, ya bụ ị na-elo akpịrị ga na-ekwu egwu. O nwere fiber ga-eme ka ị ghara inwe weight rie nne. If Green Vita nwere vitamin A n'ime ya. Ị ga-eji ụdị ofe ọbụla wee loda ya fiam.
Kedụzi maka fufu flour? Ebe ahụ ka nke bụ nri dịzinụ. Maka na arụrụ ya n'ụzọ pụrụ iche, o nweghị isi. Bịa nwee carbohydrate nke ọma n'ime ya nakwa protein iji nyere gị aka ịnọrọ n'ezi ọnọdụ ahụike. Naanị nkeji ise ka ị ga-eji mee ya na-ejighị gbawa ọsụsọ ọbụla ịsụ ya asụ. O nweghị abụba n'ime ya, o nweghị cholesterol, ọ bụ naanị akpụ ka eji rụọ ya kpọm.
Nri abụọ ndị a dị na 1 kg. Ị ga-azụta ya n'ọdụ ahịa ọbụla dị n'ala anyị.
Ngwa sonyere anyị na Twitter, Facebook nakwa Instagram @ifgreenfood maka ajụjụ ngwakọ.
KC Stores, number 1 Ostaden Lane, Owerri. Telephone number 08146646966. Aka chọkwuru ndị nkesa ahịa. Ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ isonye na nke a, kpọọ office number 0908 328 8888.
If Green Foods, rie nri nri dị mma ma nwee ezi ọnọdụ ahụike.
Echo FM.
Welcome back. If you just tuned in, you are listening to Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. And yes, of course, the program is Health Revolution with yours truly, Mary Omeniwo. They call me the Slim Diva. Call me your most adorable. I'm trying as much as I can right now to get connected to our doctor for today. Hey, ever heard of bladder stones? Wonderful. For the very first time in my life, I heard of bladder stone yesterday. And I know that while I gave the update yesterday, I also showed pictures of the bladder stone. Yes, we had a report on the news yesterday where doctors from Sri Lanka actually removed a 3.1 kilogram bladder stone from a man in Sri Lanka. Media team, please help us put up that particular photo so that people can actually see. Now, according to that story, they said the 55-year-old patient had been admitted to the hospital after suffering a stroke, but while receiving treatment, doctors found stones in his urinary bladder after noticing that he was experiencing difficulty urinating. Now, during the surgery, doctors removed the bladder stone, and it weighed as much as a full-term baby and was around the size of an ostrich egg. Hey, God have mercy. First time in history. Our media team will put up that picture so you see what I'm talking about, right? And then according to available records, it is the largest bladder stone ever documented and removed through surgery. Now, this is according to the doctor who led the surgery in Sri Lanka. This is very, very interesting. First time in history, I get to see this with my eye. I'm trying to get connected to our guest for today, Dr. Chimaroke Egeku, but somehow I don't know if it's the network. It's not actually connecting. I'm trying to see if I can reach out to him. So we'll go straight up. Yes, he's here this morning. Can you hear me? Good morning to you, Dr. Chimaroke.
Yes, I can hear you.
It's better now. I can hear you loud and clear. You're welcome.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Egeku Chimaroke is the Senior Registrar, Urology, Federal Teaching Hospital, Owerri, and he's going to help us understand bladder stone. Now, right after I saw that news, you can go on our Facebook page and see exactly what I'm talking about. Right after I saw that news, I reached out to Dr. Chimaroke and I expressed my shock, and he was like, see you. That one is even small. Let me send you a picture of the one that we brought out here in Owerri. And I'm like, whoa. And then he sends me a picture, fresh picture of one of the biggest bladder stones I have ever seen with my eye. And I'm still shocked. Even right now, talking to you, I'm shocked. So go to our Facebook page and you see everything so you would understand what we're about trying to talk about today. I know that we've talked about kidney stones in the past, but in my wildest imagination, I never thought that there's anything like bladder stones. So Dr. Chimaroke, over to you. Please help us understand. Bladder stones, where do we even start from? How does it get into the human body? Help us, please.
Okay, so bladder stones are actually hard mineral deposits that are found inside the urinary bladder. And of course, stones can actually form anywhere in the urinary tract. The bladder is a part of the urinary tract. The kidneys, like you mentioned earlier, are also part of the urinary tract. So stones can form from kidney to the ureter to the bladder down to the urethra. So all along the urinary tract, you can have bladder stones form. And but primarily when stones happen in the bladder, they are usually secondary in the sense that something anatomically is wrong with the bladder that predisposes it to for it, making the conditions favorable for stones to form. For instance, if there are any conditions that make urine static, of course, the function of the bladder is to house urine until when it is convenient for you to urinate. Of course, when you have a desire to urinate, you go and urinate. Now, but if anything prevents the outflow of urine and makes urine static more than how the length of time it should within the bladder, it predisposes the patient to risk of forming stones. So, of course, the urine that's static allows for minerals to concentrate and then crystallize and then they'll grow into stones over time. These things are things that happen in the process of time. Of course, there are certain common conditions that predispose patients to have stones formed in the bladder. One of them is a common terminology we use in urology called bladder outlet obstruction, which can happen in patients that have prostate enlargement. So you see stones common in men. Also in women who have anything at all causing obstruction, for example, from vaginal prolapse to masses within the urethra or polyps, anything at all that will prevent outflow of urine can lead to stasis and then predispose the patient to stone. Now, if the patient has what we call a neurogenic bladder, for example, the patient has had a spinal trauma and is unable to walk. Of course, the nerves that control the ability to walk also control what we call the diffusion reflex, that they send signals to the bladder and tell you that it's time to empty, and then you empty. So if those signals are cut off, and so there's a disconnect between the filling and emptying, you have that urine becomes static as well, and the stones can also form. So these are in a nutshell some of the things that can, or if there's a foreign body, for example, the patient can't void because he has an obstruction, the catheter is fast, the urinary catheter is fast for a long time. It can also predispose the patient to having stones formed. And generally, males tend to have a higher risk of forming stones more than females, of course, because of obvious reasons, because of we tend to have more bladder outlet obstruction in men than in female because of the prostate.
So it happens more in the men than in the women.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
More in men, yes. Men than women, yes.
Okay, I understand you're at work, so I wouldn't want to waste much of your time. Unfortunately, there's a little echo at your end, but we're trying to see how we can fix that so we'll hear you clearly. So now, from what you have said, if someone has the urge to pee or use the toilet to ease themselves and they do not go to pee, there's every chance that it can start forming into a bladder stone. Is that what you said?
Yes, what I'm saying is that
it's better. Your voice is better now.
What I'm saying is that if for any reason you are not able to void when you should, probably because there's an obstruction to the outflow of urine, then you can have stones form. Because the urine accumulates, and then with the accumulation of urine, you have concentrated urine accumulates. This concentrated urine can crystallize and then form stones. Of course, as the stones form, the stones can grow. So the stone you saw in the picture you had earlier shared wasn't originally that size. Of course, it would have started as a small stone that kept growing until it became as big as that.
Kai, my goodness. Yes. But what the first thing that came to mind, like, how would that person be moving around? Would the stomach be protruding like that of a pregnant woman? I mean, how can someone be carrying this size of stone all around without maybe, I don't know how best to ask you this, but I know you understand what I'm trying to say. Will it not affect everyday life?
Yeah, it will. Of course, the quality of life of the patient will be affected. There are certain signs and symptoms patient will present with. Patient may have pain on urination, shooting pain, what we call shooting pain that moves from the suprapubic area towards the vulva area or towards the penis in the men. Patient may have recurrent urinary tract infections that no matter how much antibiotics you take, it doesn't clear, because the stone has become a nidus for the microorganisms. So when the antibiotics clears the organisms that are within the system, the stone has like a biofilm that protects the antibiotics from impregnating them. So the organisms that are lodged within the stones will be protected from the effect of the antibiotics. So after a while, the urinary tract is also reinfected because the organisms are like protected. So patients can present with suprapubic pain, suprapubic discomfort. You also have lower urinary tract symptoms. Patient may be urinating more frequently than he should, probably maybe sometimes as much as 9-10 times at night. So you see, of course, patient has to wake up those 9 times. That means he probably wouldn't be sleeping well at night. So the symptoms are on and on. So at the end of the day, the patient's quality of life will be impaired by the presence of the stone.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's quickly go to risk factors, right? What risk factors could increase the chances of a person coming down with bladder stones?
Okay, so one, the fact that, like I said, it's more preponderant in the male sex. So male sex is a risk factor. 2, aging is a risk factor. So the older you get, because of course with older age, there's an increased risk of having bladder outlet obstruction, benign prostate enlargement. So of course the patient has increased risk of having stones formed. Then patients who have chronic long-term catheter use, any condition at all that will warrant a patient to use a catheter for a long time is also predisposed to forming stones. Patients that have certain metabolic derangements may also have a risk of having stones. Then women who have had pelvic floor disorders like ureterovaginal prolapse or a cystocele or anything at all that affects the integrity of the pelvic floor may also lead the patient to having stones formed. Of course, there are people who are like obligate stone formers in the sense that they have some preponderance to form stone. Patients who are on a particular kind of diet, who eat diets that are high calcium containing or high oxalate containing.
Okay.
These patients are also at risk of having stones formed. Any patient who has an anatomical defect in the urinary tract, in the urinary bladder, the kidney system, the renal system, they can be at risk of having stones formed.
Wow. So when you say food that is high in calcium, so someone who takes that in all the time, what are supplements high in calcium? Can that also?
That can also predispose to. That's why it's not good to. I often tell people people abuse supplements in this part of the world. Supplements simply means that you are not getting enough. So, but if you are eating healthy and you're eating proper balanced diet, what do you need supplements for?
Yeah. It's good we're saying this. Okay, so but is there a link? I'm kind of surprised that there is kidney stone and there is bladder stone. Any link at all to between the two?
Yes, you could have stones that occur, they develop in the kidney and can migrate from the kidney to the bladder. That can also happen. So you have stones formed in the kidney, and then for some reason the stone migrates, is moved. Of course, it also supposes that when the stone formed in the kidney, it would have been smaller. So it moves from the kidney and deposits within the bladder, and then you have the stones start growing until it becomes big to become symptomatic. That can also happen.
Oh my God. Okay, I know that a lot of people are on standby waiting patiently to ask you questions. Please, if you please permit me, I'd have to take some calls. I know that time is no longer your friend. You have patients to attend to. But please give us more 10 minutes of your time. Is that okay, Dr. Chimaroke?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, please keep your calls coming in now that Dr. Chimaroke is here. Call and ask your questions. And if you're still lost, you don't know what we are talking about, go to our Facebook page, Echo FM 100.7, and see with your eye what a bladder stone looks like. The first time in my whole life I would ever see that. And I know that you are shocked as I am. 0911 20,022. 0911 20,022, or you call 0707 454 1014. You can also drop your questions, your comments on our Facebook page, YouTube page, and on WhatsApp as well. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Cindy.
Hello, welcome. What's your name, please?
My name is Amaka.
Okay, where is Amaka calling from?
From Owerri.
Go ahead, Amaka.
I just learned a new one today.
My sister. Somebody say wonders will never end.
And it shall not continue to end. Hey,
oh my God.
I'm just speechless. That's just the whole thing. I don't even know what to say.
So,
but thank God I heard this today.
Yeah, so you never heard of the bladder stone in your whole life?
Yes.
Okay, you've learned something. Thank you so much for tuning in. Quickly, answer a question from our sponsor. Are you ready? Quickly.
Okay.
List the Eve Green products introduced recently. Quickly, please.
Okay. Eve Green Vita and Eve Green Fufu Flour.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, please.
Okay, Amaka, we'll get to find out if you are the winner. Let's take another call. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, is that Mama Biggie?
Yes.
Okay, did you pick your gifts? Have you picked it up?
I've not gone there. I'll go. I'll go later.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
This bladder stone, is it a real stone? Or just form as like a stone? Is it a real stone?
Okay, hold on. Dr. Chimaroke will respond. Thank you so much, Mama Biggie. I appreciate you. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, you're welcome. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Bernard.
Okay.
Bernard.
Bernardi. Bernardi, from where?
From
Okay, Bernard, welcome. Go ahead, please.
I don't know whether doctor is an Igbo man. Is this a stone, a bladder stone? Is it the one they call EB?
What? ED?
EB.
EB.
Yes.
EB.
They used to call EB. Yes.
IBI.
EB in our native language.
Okay, I'll get to ask him. I'll ask him if that's the same thing, okay?
Okay.
Answer this question before you go. Mention the address where Eve Green Foods products can be gotten in Owerri quickly.
Okay. Casey Stores. Number 1, Roasted One Road.
It's not Jiribako Road.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Keep listening, Bernard. Thank you so much for calling. And one more call before we go back to Dr. Chimaroke to enable him attend to his patients. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Please, if you want us to talk, move far away from the radio set, I beg you.
Okay.
Or you turn it off. What's your name, please?
Okay, I'm Krista. I'm Krista from Odioga.
Crystal.
Priska from Odioga.
Oh, Priska, you're welcome. Go ahead, quickly.
Okay, please, I have a question for the doctor. Apart from surgery, how can the kidney stones or the bladder stones be removed from the body?
Very good question. Thank you so much, Priska. How is the Eve Green Vita prepared?
It's prepared by putting water or fire, then you put some and turn it till it's okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Priska. You get to find out if you are a winner. Dr. Chimaroke, back to you. Please, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay, the first one, Mama Biggie says, is that a real stone? How can this kind of stone be in a human being's body? Is it the same stone that we see like rock?
Yeah, it's a stone. That's how stones actually form. You know, stones form from crystallization to first supersaturation, crystallization. Then you have the stones, keep propagating. So it's the same principle with how stones form. That's how stones also form within the bladder when the conditions favor for such to happen.
That is wonderful. Okay, and then Bernard is asking, is it the same as EB? There's something they call EB.
No, it's not. It's not the same. EB is different. I think EB in Igbo parlance has to do with scrotal swelling, hydrocele, that you see in men, it's a totally different pathology. It's not the same as renal stones, yes.
Okay, so it's different. Bernard, I hope that answers you. And then Priska says, apart from surgery, how else can these bladder stones be removed from the body, apart from surgery? Any other alternative?
Okay, there are several ways to remove the stone. I would like to classify them as open procedure, laparoscopic procedures, robotic procedures, endoscopic procedures. So the general common ones are the open surgeries, which are done to remove the stones. You have to make an incision on the abdomen, get to where the bladder is, and remove the stone. That can also be done with the aid of machines. Now, it's also possible to use endoscopic, where you don't have to cut open the patient. You pass through the natural openings like the urethra, get into the bladder, use an energy device that we call, it can either be in the form of a laser machine or an ultrasonic device, use it to crush the stones and retrieve them.
Okay.
So but for the stones that were in the picture you put up, of course, most people will want to do that open because if you were to go ahead with doing an endoscopic procedure for that type of stone, you may have to go in severally to be able to do that.
Yes, and they are actually very large.
It's a very big stone.
Oh my goodness. I understand what she's trying to ask, because you hear some people say, oh, there are some things you can take naturally that will dissolve whatever is inside your body and, pieces it, and then you urinate and it comes out. Is anything like that possible?
Not entirely true. What we do is that we prefer to give those drugs after you have removed the stones surgically. Sometimes you may not be able to, for example, if you are doing a laser procedure, for instance, or you want to use the laser to crush the stones, you want to retrieve as much particles as you can.
Okay.
Now, there are certain tiny particles that the patient will be able to pass out. Now, but after you've done your procedure, it's possible that the patient may still form another stone in the future. That's where those drugs come in.
Oh.
So we give those drugs to modulate the pH, the environment of the bladder, to make it unfavorable for stones to form.
Wonderful. Okay, Is it hereditary? Very good question. Does it run in families?
It can be familial, not necessarily hereditary. Familial would be the better word to use.
Because which one is familial?
Familial means that there is no genetic basis to explain why the patient has it, but it just happens that it runs within the family for some reason.
It doesn't mean that if the grandfather had it.
Hereditary means that there's a genetic problem. It's consistent with the makeup. That means every person born in that family will have it.
Wow.
Familial, not necessarily everybody, but it can run in family. It may happen in a father, and then skip a generation, get to the next generation. It runs in families. But hereditary means that every single body who is born in that family has a risk of having that particular entity.
Yeah.
That is hereditary.
Okay, yes. Okay. So how soon after treatment can a person get better? Because I saw the picture you sent me, and I know that was an invasive surgery. How soon will the person get better? And after the person has gotten better, can they still use their organs normally?
Yeah, perfectly. Of course, there are certain complications that can be associated with this type of stones of this nature, stones that are this big. So patients may have some form of fistula after the procedure, which of course will be dealt with by the urologist. So, but give and take, patients' recovery can take from 4 or 5 months to 6 months, depending on the complications that arise from the procedure.
Wonderful. Yes. Okay, I know that you don't have time, so please go ahead quickly and give us your parting word. If there's anything you feel we've not discussed, quickly, chip it in before you go, please.
So if you have any lower inner tract symptom at all, frequency, urgency, you're urinating more than 3 times at night, I would recommend you're having shooting pain when you urinate. It will be good that you visit the urologist so that you can be properly evaluated. It may just be a stone, maybe a sign of a stone, or you notice that when you urinate, you see blood, drops of blood when you urinate. Okay. That may also be one of the
signs.
Stones can present. So it will be good you go see a urologist, get properly evaluated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Egekuchi Maroke, Senior Registrar, Urology, Federal Teaching Hospital. I'd like to thank you so much for sacrificing your time this morning, and we wish you the best going forward, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. What a session with Dr. Chimaroke. Or see no bladder stone. Let's go take a message from our sponsor, and in the next 2 minutes, we'll bounce back to the rest of the conversation. I've got messages on Facebook and WhatsApp, and everyone seems to be expressing, their shock. They've never seen this kind of thing in their life. And then our media team will keep putting up those pictures so that you'd become aware and you'll be sensitized, and you can spread the word so that people will know that there is something called bladder stone. Let's go take a listen to this message, and when we come back, we'll continue with the rest of the conversation.
Echo FM.
Echo FM 100.7, the fresh news people.
My good people of Owerri, ever heard of If Green Foods? If Green Foods introduces 2 exciting new products, If Green Vita and If Green Fufu Flour. If Green Vita is a fiber-rich instant swallow which can be prepared in just 3 minutes. It's a fairly new product in the market for those who want something better than the traditional gari they are used to. If Green Fufu Flour is also a fiber-rich instant swallow, so without pounding and sweating, you can get your fufu akpu ready in just 5 minutes. Let me splash more info on these products, starting with If Green Vita. If Green Vita is fortified with vitamin A for good vision and is rich in fiber to aid weight management. So smooth to swallow and easily digested due to its low carbohydrate content, and it's gluten-free, prepared with boiled water, not stir or fried. It's so easy to prepare. If Green Fufu Flour. If Green Fufu Flour is one of the finest quality. It's odor-free but full of the same great taste of fufu for those who cherish the African swallow of all time. Fufu is an ultimate energy food for maximum performance, a good source of carbohydrates to help maintain a healthy diet and lifestyle. It contains considerable amounts of protein, 0 fat, and 0 cholesterol content. The 2 If Green Foods products are available in pack size of 1 kg, found in most stores, supermarkets, and open markets. You can follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at If Green Foods. Contact our Owerri distributors, KC Stores at number 1 Old Stadium Lane, Owerri, Imo State, or call 0814-664-6966. More distributors wanted nationwide. Contact company office on 0908 328 8888. Eat If Green Foods, eat healthy.
Echo FM.
Okay, you just listened to a message from our sponsor, If Green Foods, a subsidiary of If Green Industries and Investment Limited. They are actually the sponsor for Health Revolution, your daily tonic for healthy living. My name is still Mary Omeni Wode. You can call me the Slim Diva, and I have messages on Facebook. But before I go ahead to read up the messages, let's squeeze in 2 more calls. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. You're live. What's your name, please?
Okay, it's Obi from Area Edge.
Okay, Obi, go ahead.
Please, I want to ask, every day, is it not better Christ comes so that this world does come to us?
Ataya, you see this question, Very, very apt. Like, let Christ just do and come. Like, which one is bladder stone? Have you seen it before?
I'm not.
And you've never heard of it?
It's scary. It's honestly
very scary, my brother. Very, very scary. And that's why I decided to bring up the topic so people like you and I would be aware that there's something like that.
honestly, you're doing a very good job.
Thank you, Obi. But let Christ not come now. I need to make money. No, not now, please. Tell him. If you know, tell him to hold on a little.
If you go to hospital and you're being diagnosed, there's no way they will not find out 1 or 2 ailments.
Yeah, I know. But is it not better to go to the hospital and then they diagnose you? If you have it, then you start to tackle it on time until it becomes terrible and difficult to handle. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, you made a point. At least it has to do with one going for normal hospital routine check.
Simple and short. That's what it means. Thank you, Obi. I would have asked you a question, but we have our winners already, okay?
It's okay.
Thank you so much. Yes. Some people will say going to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, they will check and they must see something. No argument, but let me tell you. For instance, in the case of the bladder stones, like what Dr. Chimaroke said, is something that starts to build up gradually. And before you know it, it becomes that large. If you have not seen the picture, go to our Facebook page. Our media team has been doing a very good job. Like I said, I saw that story in Sri Lanka, na Africa, or somewhere in Sri Lanka. That's where they actually operated a patient and then they brought out a very big kidney stone, 3.1 kilogram. I saw that and I'm like, my goodness, how did this thing come out from a human being's body? Only for me to send to Dr. Chimaroke and he say, Mary Lekwagi, that one is small now. Let me send you another picture. And then he sent me a picture. This one is in our own Owerri here. So that goes to show you that it can happen to anybody, okay? And Dr. Chimaroke says it affects mostly the men, more than the women. Let's squeeze in more calls. Good morning to you. Sorry about that. Change your position and call me back. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yes, you're welcome. What's your name, please?
My name is Angel Michael, calling from Douglas.
Angel Michael, please tell Christ not to sound the trumpet now. Obi wants the one to end.
The thing is, this people are talking as
no, don't be scared, okay? It's good you know about it rather than get scared.
Let's see, I supposed to be sincere. I repeat too much in the night, like 6 times or 4 times in the night. So I'm scared,
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It could be anything, but you have to go do your test. Go meet a doctor first and run the necessary test. It might not be bladder stone. Remember that diabetes too, for people who have it, they also urinate frequently. For people who have prostate issues, from the research I did, most times so you'd have to go see a doctor for you to know what is actually wrong with you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I want to ask one question.
Go ahead quickly.
I say, what of if a person take something like because they drink like beer. So I'm saying like beer why they drink. I think they make me the piece too much. So I want to ask the doctor.
Okay. I'll pass on your message to him, Angel Michael. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, he had to go attend to patients. Yes, it's not easy getting doctors at this time. Trust me, they have numerous patients to attend to. But I'm going to pass on your question to him. But I also know from the little knowledge I have gathered on the health platform, I know that excessive drinking, beer, all these things contain refined, I don't know if to call it refined sugar. Mommy, him got moya now. But you know that it can also make you pee. But the truth is, you can never ascertain exactly what is wrong with you. After all, a lot of people drink beer. Do they urinate like that? So you'd have to go find out. That's what I recommend. Thank you. Hello?
Good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name, please?
Yes, my name is Chief Imoguzie.
Okay. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Modern Mechanic Village.
You're welcome. Go ahead quickly.
Yes, I heard about the sickness you are talking about.
Oh, bladder stone. Oh, sick. Bladder stone
is not a sickness.
Okay, go ahead.
Bladder stone, what is the cause of that bladder stone? I want to know, please.
Okay, you get to find out. I'll try as much as I can to summarize what Dr. Chimaroke said, okay?
Please, another thing is that, honestly, I am joining faith with that my brother there. Let the trumpet sound, because all this sickness, we are tired of hearing them.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
All these things they are trying to ban us from eating. We have been eating it since ages. Our forefathers ate all these things. We started hearing of all these diseases.
Okay.
But why is it so rampant in our own days this time around, please?
Yeah.
It's getting worrisome, honestly.
I understand.
You're worried about it. You cannot drink beer. We've been drinking beer ages.
Do not misquote me. I did not mention beer in any part of my conversation.
It's not, I'm not saying that, because they will tell you not to drink beer, not to eat this, not to eat in the night. We eat. Do you know what is called apunogu?
No.
That's a fufu that has not been refined.
Okay.
Those ones that have been fermented. Do you know that we ate it? There are sometimes we came back lately. Now our mother will go to that place where they ferment the cassava and bring it out, cook it like that. There's always somehow we cook it with those stems inside it. We eat it as you are swallowing the balls. Those stems will be cracking your throat. You eat it, and nothing happens to us. Why is it that this time around? Is it that all of these things we are eating are fertilizers or what? What is the cause of all these numerous infections and diseases that are coming out at these days? Please let the trumpet sound, honestly. I'm tired.
Thank you. Don't be tired. Calm down, Chief. You are a chief for saying you are tired. Then what would the younger generation do? You are an elderly man, and people like us who are still young and vibrant, we want to live life. You don't live life now. Chief. So we tell you, I've not gotten married. I don't know what it feels like. I've not made money. I want to ride a Bugatti. I want to ride a Cybertruck and all that. Chief, you don't live life. Allow us to live our life. Trumpets will not sound now. Biko. Okay. And then you went on to ask causes of the bladder stone, and I heard Dr. Chimaroke said that bladder stones are hardened mineral clumps that form in the bladder. They develop when your pee remains in your bladder for a long time. For instance, growing up, I would always hear people say, oh, don't hold pee for a long time. It will burst your bladder. But there's not actually medically, I don't think there's anything like your bladder busting. But we are hearing today that when you do not pee when you're supposed to pee, and you retain pee, for a long time, it starts to form gradually into a bladder stone. What makes up that clump? You have potassium, you have waste products, which ordinarily should leave your body. But because there's no way for everything to leave your body, it now gets retained in the bladder, and that's how you have the bladder stone. Okay, I hope that answers you. And then to what we eat. Well, you cannot compare 1950, 1758 to 2026. It's not the same. It's a new era. It's a modernized world. In as much as technology has come, a lot of things are changing. I just feel that people are eating more refined products. People are eating more of junk. People no longer exercise. People are living sedentary lifestyle. Everyone almost has a car. Almost everybody I know has a car. Nobody treks anymore. Nobody walks. Nobody takes a long, walk or brisk walk anymore. They see it as a sign of poverty. Nobody even goes to the open market anymore to shop. At least you do a little exercise. No, they go into the shopping mall where you have lifts and all of that. You have people who would help you carry your basket. Nobody wants anything like that anymore. And then people no longer eat more of fruits and vegetables. Yes, I know things are expensive, but our dietitians, clinical dietitians recommend that even with the tight budgets, even with the tight economy, you can still try your best to eat healthy. Okay, so Chief, I understand where you're coming from, and what I'm saying this morning is that we'll have to change our lifestyle. Thank you so much. Let's go take messages on Facebook. Blessing Gospel says, oh my God, wonder shall never end. Blessing, I understand your fear, you're shocked, as well as I am. Iromaka Chike Augustine says, constipation is the cause, I guess. Well, the doctor didn't mention constipation. Rather, what he says is that what can cause it is buildup of urine in your bladder. Lady Principal says, this is serious. God, I beg, oh. This will not be prostrate again. It's now bladder stone. Well, prostate issue is different. Bladder stone is different, okay? It's just like you've got the kidney stone. Ifoma Ayola said, very good program. Thank you, Ifoma. I hail you right back. Sarah Chineye says, oh my God, I understand your outburst, Sarah. And the messages keep coming in. Omaga Nnamani, Ozo Francis Omaga, watching live from Amagunze, Enugu State. Good morning, my people in the studio. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Omaga Nnamani. Say hello to my 042 people. Njoku Chukudi says, Mary, good morning and well done. Thank you, Njoku Chukudi. Uche Esther Ogidi says, I cannot see the video. Media team, please put up the video, put up the pictures so that people who just tune in will see what the bladder stone looks like and know that it's actually in existence. Say, Susan Uche, Mary, well done. I love your program so much. Thank you, Susu. I appreciate you. Scholar Amaka says, God, please save your people. Egyptian sickness cannot be our portion. Make Egypt people hear you. Which one is Egyptian sickness? Do they have a Kwakuma sickness? Or Mbise sickness? Hey, God, I beg you. Okay, Scholar Amaka, bladder stone is bladder stone, okay? There is nothing like Egyptian sickness. Thank you. We Blessing says, hello. You're doing well, my dear. What is the cause of this bladder stone and what kind of food should we eat? I think I have mentioned that. Oluchitwo Vivian says, it's best not to eat later at night because it can cause issues with the body. Take more of water and eat early. Take your rest when you need to. Health is wealth. Thank you so much. I'm trying to get messages on the other Facebook page. Let me see. I know that there are messages there as well, but network is acting up a little bit this morning. And we have one message from Chinonso Uche. And he says, good morning, Mary. My name is Chinonso Uche Kalu from Ikenebu, Owerri. I am so surprised. This is the first time of hearing of bladder stones. Please, I would like to know what is the cause and how can someone know that he or she has got bladder stones. Have a nice day, Wanyoma. I like your program. It's very educative. Thank you, Chinonso Uche. And you heard the doctor say the person will start to have pains in the abdominal area, severe pains, maybe when urinating. And then a lot of symptoms that he ruled out, changes in the color of pee, frequent urination, urgency to pee, especially maybe at night. You just be peeing anyhow. Okay. And then UTIs, he mentioned that. Bright Wachiku says, good job. Thank you so much, Bright. And that's the much I'll be taking on Facebook. Quickly, let me go to WhatsApp. Nda Anthony from Poli says, Slim Diva, please, people drink their urine. Ha! Is this healthy? Hey, wonderful. Okay, how will you drink your urine? It's just like saying you're eating your poop. That's waste products. I know that there are a lot of myths. Some people will say, when I had so ailment, I drank my early morning urine and it cured it. If it's actually possible that urine can cure any ailment, even you self, to peace go they had you. J-boy, what do you think? I doubt if you would even produce urine because the urine will be scared to come out. You not go even feel come out. Say, fear go they catch urine itself. Yes. So the thing is, I do not think that there is any scientific backing to the fact that urine can cure any ailment. So if you ask me if it's healthy, of course I will tell you it's not healthy. It's like you eating your own poop, and that's not healthy for you. Thank you so much. And this one says, hi, Mary the Slim Diva, well done. Thank you. You did not add your name. I appreciate you. I'm trying to read the last message. Good morning, Mary from Emmanuel. This is where everyone must maintain hydration to ward off formation of these stones. The acidic pH of our urine aids the formation of the stones. Let us discourage acidic pH by taking a lot of water daily. I agree with you 100%, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Chukudi Enwerem from Worubi. Mary, this is really an eye-opener for all of us, and I thank you for bringing this to us. As usual, your program is always educative and entertaining. However, I enjoin people to follow certain health habits like regular checks, drinking water, exercise, reduce drugs and supplements abuse, as this might predispose them to bladder stone. God bless you for this, and I'm enjoying your program. Thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday. Yes, I hope you had fun. Last message. Good morning, Auntie Mary. Can bladder stone surgery affect man's fertility in any form? Or be from Amakoya. Dr. Chimaroke says after the surgery, the man can live his normal life. Thank you, and that's the much I'll be taking on the messages this morning. To everyone who listened, to everyone who called, thank you. Today we've learned a new thing. Spread the word, okay? Drink lots of water. That would help. Yes, that would help. Always stay hydrated. And the winners for today, Amaka from Owerri. Our first winner is Amaka from Owerri, okay? And yes, I'm trying to get across to the second. Yes, Bernard from Ohaji is our second winner for today. Priska, you tried, but you do not stir the Eve Green Vita on fire. Thank you. My name is Mary, the Slim Diva, your most adorable. Up next is the news. Don't go anywhere.
But the masses are slaves. And I'm going to win this election. That is the truth.
Stay informed with Echo FM 100.7. Join us for exclusive interviews with experts, breaking updates on local and global events, and in-depth coverage of issues impacting our community. Tune in every day at 6:30 a.m., 12 noon, 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. for our major news bulletin in English, Igbo, and Pidgin language. For more inquiries, you can reach us through our email, echofm@thekingmail.com. You can follow us on our social media handles at Echo FM. Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. We are the Fresh News People. It's the news at noon on Echo FM 100.7.
Good afternoon to you and welcome to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. We are the station with fair and balanced reporting. My name is Mary Omeni-Wode, bringing you the latest news and breaking stories around the world. Here are the headlines. Tinubu orders further forensic probe into fake agency scandal. Federal government NADDC flag off CNG conversion training for NYSC members in Southeast. 30 months after subsidy removal, federal government spends 30.6 trillion naira, saves 15.8 trillion naira. And on the foreign scene, federal government demands end to attacks on Nigerians in South Africa. UK pledges £442 million to get rough sleepers off streets by Christmas. And on sports news, Uche undergoes successful knee surgery. Details after this timeout. Stay tuned. And of course, we'll begin with national stories that says President Bola Tinubu has directed the commissioning of a comprehensive forensic investigation into the fictitious Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council scandal. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Tinubu at the Asu Rock Villa, Abuja. The former tax reform chief stated that the Attorney General of the Federation and his own office had been directed to work with other relevant agencies to address the matter holistically, spanning its administrative, accounting and governance dimensions. He disclosed that the president had specifically ordered the review to extend to the integrated personnel and payroll information system, warning that fake agencies likely mean fake employees somewhere within the federal payroll. The controversy emerged after Adeniyi Adeyemi presented himself as the Director General of the PFIPC, and the purported council operated from an office within the Federal Secretariat in Abuja. In another development, the federal government has commenced the compressed natural gas CNG vehicle retrofitting training program for members of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC in the Southeast Zone. The program, organized under the NYSC Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Initiative in collaboration with the National Automotive Design and Development Council, was flagged off in Enugu State. The training is designed to equip corps members with practical skills in CNG vehicle conversion and create opportunities for them to become self-reliant after their service year. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony, the Special Advisor to the President on Youth Initiatives, Dr. Titi Badamosi, stated that the initiative was part of the federal government's efforts to prepare young Nigerians for the opportunities emerging from the country's transition to alternative energy. Badamosi urged the beneficiaries to take the training seriously, saying the CNG sector offered significant employment opportunities for young Nigerians. And over to Ekiti State, where the Ekiti State Police Command has urged youths in the state to shun political and digital thuggery, violence, cultism, cybercrime, and hate speech, warning that such activities could jeopardize their future. The command made the call in a statement signed by its police public relations officer, SP Abutu, as part of activities marking the 2026 International Youth Day. According to the command, the 3-day program scheduled for August 20 to 22, 2026 is being organized in line with the vision of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Disu. The command therefore noted that the program was designed to provide a platform for meaningful interaction with youths on responsible citizenship, peaceful participation, digital responsibility, and crime prevention. It therefore urged young people to reject activities capable of undermining their future and instead channel their energy and talent towards productive pursuits. The Kwara State Commissioner of Police, Ojo Adekimi, has warned police officers against indiscriminately searching mobile phones of National Youth Service Corps members under the guise of checking for involvement in internet fraud. Adekimi gave the warning during a working visit to Corps members undergoing the 2026 Batch B Stream 2 orientation course in Kwara State, where he also assured them of adequate security throughout their service year. While addressing the Corps members, Adekimi assured them that the police, working with other security agencies, would continue to take measures to protect them wherever they are deployed within the state. He also reminded the Corps members of their responsibilities as young Nigerians, describing them as important agents of positive change who should make meaningful contributions to their host communities during their service year. It's exactly 9 minutes past noon. If you just tune in, you are listening to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. Here's a recap of the headlines. Tinubu orders further forensic probe into fake agency scandal. Federal government NADDC flag off CNG conversion training for NYSC members in Southeast. 30 months after subsidy removal, federal government spends 30.6 trillion naira, saves 15.8 trillion naira. Federal government demands end to attacks on Nigerians in South Africa. And still on the foreign scene, still to come, UK pledges £442 million to get rough sleepers off streets by Christmas. And on sports news, Uche undergoes successful knee surgery. We'll bring you details after this break. Stay tuned.
Mpox is a rare disease caused by a virus that spreads through close contact with someone or an animal that's been infected with the disease. You can contract Mpox by being in contact with recently contaminated materials like clothing, bedding, and other items used by an infected person or animal. Symptoms of Mpox include chills, muscle aches, fever, headache, rash, and fatigue. In order to prevent yourself or your loved ones from coming down with Mpox, wash your hands regularly with soap and running water. Avoid contact with people who may be infected with the virus. Clean and disinfect surfaces thoroughly. Wear personal protective equipment when caring for people infected with the virus. If infected, remain in isolation until all lesions and scars fall off. This message is from Echo 100.7 FM, Owerri.
Glad to know you're still there listening to Echo FM 100.7 Owerri, and this is the Global News at Noon. Over now to the rest of the stories. In business news this afternoon, 30 months after President Bola Tinubu removed petrol subsidy and introduced other sweeping economic reforms, the federal government has spent 30.64 trillion naira as government expenditure to ease the effects of its policies, while the policies generated 15.8 trillion naira in savings for the federation. This shows that the removal of petrol subsidy created significant fiscal space, but did not produce a pool of idle cash for the federal government. The development comes as the finance minister and coordinating minister of the economy, Taiwo Oyedele, disclosed that the removal of petrol subsidy and the unification of the foreign exchange market mobilized 15.8 trillion naira in additional resources for the federation during the period. Over now to the foreign scene, where the federal government has called on South Africa to take urgent and concrete measures to end xenophobic and Afrophobic attacks against African nationals in the country. The government also urged stronger migration governance, responsible political leadership, and deeper people-to-people relations across the continent to prevent further violence against the migrants. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Enikanolaye, made the call at a virtual roundtable convened by the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. According to a statement issued by his special advisor, Digital Media and Public Diplomacy, Raphael Oni, the minister stressed that Nigeria viewed the situation as a challenge that must be addressed without either denial or exaggeration. Beyond government intervention, the minister called for stronger people-to-people diplomacy involving businesses, universities, religious and traditional institutions, youth organizations, civil society groups, and the media. He stated that such engagements would help rebuild trust and promote a shared African identity. And still on the foreign scene, the UK government has pledged £442 million to offer everyone sleeping rough in England a route off the streets by Christmas, as Prime Minister Andy Bonham steps up his drive to end rough sleeping. The funding will support emergency accommodation and practical help with housing, health, and other needs, with the government saying the program will provide immediate routes off the streets, while also helping people move into settled accommodation. The announcement comes 1 month after Bonham made ending rough sleeping his first instruction as Prime Minister. According to the report on the Home Office website, Bonham also announced plans for a national summit in the autumn, bringing together leaders from businesses, finance, charity, health and faith communities to discuss how different sectors can contribute to ending rough sleeping. The government stated that the £442 million package is fully funded from uncommitted budgets at the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government. Rough sleepers are individuals who live and sleep in the open air or in places not meant for human habitation, such as streets, park benches, doorways, cars or abandoned buildings, because they have no secure or stable home. And finally, on sports news this afternoon, Getafe midfielder Chrysanthus Uche has undergone a successful surgery following a serious knee injury sustained during a preseason friendly against Monaco earlier this month. Uche shared a photo of himself after the procedure as he began his rehabilitation following the injury. The 23-year-old sustained the injury on August 6th after a tackle from Monaco defender Christian Mawisa during the friendly. Subsequent medical scans revealed that Uche had suffered multiple ligament and meniscus tears in the right knee, with the severity of the injury requiring surgery and ruling him out for the remainder of the season. Confirming that the operation had gone on successfully, Uche thanked the medical team, his representatives, Getafe, and those who had supported him since the injury. Meanwhile, Uche spent the last season on loan at Crystal Palace, where he struggled for regular playing time, making 22 appearances and playing a total of 477 minutes. And that's all for the global news at noon this afternoon, as was brought to you directly from our news desk. For more information and inquiries, visit our social media platforms on Facebook at Echo FM 100.7 and Echo FM. On YouTube, Echo FM 100.7. On X at Echo FM _Owerri and Instagram at Echo FM 100.7. You can listen to us anywhere in the world by logging on to www.echofm.net. That is www.echofm.net, or search for us on Radio Garden by typing Echo FM 100.7 Owerri, Nigeria, and listen to us anywhere in the world. My name is Mary Omeni Wode. Thank you so much for listening. Good afternoon to you. Enjoy the rest of your day.